Hey everybody, it's been a while since I did a YouTube video, and I just wanted to talk about Inspire Training. I went to Inspire Training in Houston yesterday, and it was so amazing. If you have the opportunity to go, 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 go. It just, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but it just taught me a lot about myself, and I just um, was so inspired and learned so much from everybody there. And Deanne is just so amazing. It makes me want to cry. I'm so lucky, even though I'm not on board yet, I'm so lucky to be a part of this. And I just feel like it's like nothing I've ever been a part of before. I've worked for lots of companies. I'm 38 years old, and I've been working since I was 14, and never have I been a part of a culture like this. And I'm just really in awe of the generosity and the servant leadership of everyone in this company. Um, just real basic stuff. The Inspire training, the morning session was for everybody, and you got to hear Deanne's story and hear her struggles and know that she has been where a lot of us have been, and that she has done this. This is, not something that she thought up and sent other people to do. She did this business on her own for a long time, and she knows what she's talking about. She knows what works, and she knows how to encourage and just push you just enough to make you shine. And the two coaches that were there were so awesome. Lindsay and Shannon, that spoke and told their stories, and I really related with Shannon a lot when she talked about how she wasn't a real go-getter, and she was just where we were a year ago, and that she would actually go to the store with the tags on her clothes just to get people to talk to her about Lularoe, because otherwise she wouldn't have put herself out there and done that. And I thought that was amazing. And then, let's see, and then I had the opportunity to have lunch with Deanne. The Sunday before your event, you're going to get an email saying that tickets for Lunch with Deanne are available. Click on it immediately. They sell out in minutes. There were 450 people at the training yesterday, and 50 of us got to have lunch with her. And it was amazing. They do Periscope everything, mostly. They do all the whys. She came in, we got our lunch. She came in, and she went immediately into, wanting to hear everyone's whys and getting on Periscope and doing all that. And then when she turned the Periscope off, she gave us the opportunity to ask any questions that we had of her or of anybody else, from home office. And so that was a really great opportunity, and I was just so impressed with how much she just pours into everyone. How she's your biggest cheerleader, and how she's such a servant leader. She, lunch started at 1. She never sat down to eat until almost 3 o'clock. She was so involved in wanting us to connect and to hear other people's stories, and it was just amazing. And then after lunch, there was a leadership portion, and obviously I'm not a leader because I'm still in the queue, but we were invited to stay if we wanted to, and because I flew in and changing my flight, it was going to cost a lot of money. I decided, I'll stay, and it was so good. It was so good. It was just so much team. It was. There's no they don't look at anything as a competition. They don't look at it as my team versus your team, or everybody shares ideas and just encourages each other and builds each other up. And there was just so much joy in that room. It was really overwhelming in a good way. It was just so awesome. And I just kind of wanted to share a few things. one of the things that I hear a lot in my upline group and the retail therapist, Lisa Jones group, is about presume innocence. And to me, that's also like giving grace. Giving grace to someone, assuming that, they didn't do something maliciously, or that they didn't know any better, or that, they didn't have, their intention wasn't to hurt anyone or to, to do anything wrong. They just didn't know any better. And I think that's so important, because I think, people tend to jump to conclusions, and I certainly do too. And just give people grace, and just assume that, you can't be inside someone's head, and you can't know what they're thinking. You can't know what's really going on in their life. And so you have to, just give people the benefit of the doubt. And that is 1000% what they encourage. And just encourage. And it was so amazing. I do have a little bit of notes written down, because I don't want to ramble too much or leave anything out. So I think in starting this business, the things that I'm continuing to struggle with, are fear and comparison. And they are actually, I'm reading 2 books right now, and they both, I read a chapter yesterday about fear and one about comparison in the other book. And so I just wanted to read a few things, because I really see I saw in other people that were at the training yesterday this same, being afraid of failing and comparing ourselves to others, and like, oh, so-and-so does, amazing sales and books all these parties, and what if I can't do that? What if I don't do that? Or what if I'm not doing that? And I just wanted to read a few things. This book is called Make It Happen by Lara Casey, and it's a Christian author. So just keep that in mind. But I just wanted to read things that really resonated with me from the fear chapter. She says, remember the good that could happen if your fear didn't own you. You might finally do the things you were created to do, the things that could change the course of your life, the things that could inspire others and show them that they are deeply loved, the things that could change generations to come in your family, the things God purposed you for long ago. When you get honest about what's holding you back, you open yourself to good change. Little by little, you exchange fear for a life of faith, a life where fear does not rule you, but rather motivates you to dive deeper, a life that gets you and everyone around you fired up. And that's 100% what I saw yesterday at that training. Everyone was fired up. Everyone was happy and joyful, and I was just so grateful to be there. And just a couple more other things. It also talked about that the fear of failure could also really be the fear of success. And says that, so we decide that success is for everyone else, not us. We want to believe that only superheroes are able to accomplish extraordinary things. Because we see ourselves as ordinary, we shrink back and watch. We don't take risks because we think we are small. We don't do anything great because we think we aren't made that way. And it's definitely a voice that I hear in my head. And it's not true. It's a lie. And it's a lie that's been told to me in my head over and over and over. And I need to silence it. And the other thing it said was, the thing we fear is what we are giving power to in our lives. It's what we are allowing to influence us. And so my biggest fear is rejection. And, putting myself out there and talking about Lularoe and asking people if they want to have parties and saying, no, I don't think so, and it's not that they're rejecting me, but I always take everything so personally. And so I think what I walked away with in that chapter, and also back in the training was that, give people the benefit of the doubt, give them grace, assume innocence. You just don't know what everybody else is dealing with in their life. And the other book that I'm reading is called The Finishing School, and it's by Valerie Werner. And this chapter had a lot about comparison, and I think in this business it's easy to compare and go down that road, and you have to consciously make an effort to work your own business, and your success is dependent on you and not on your sponsor. And what's working for somebody else or what somebody else is doing, it doesn't matter. You have to be your best and do your best. So it says, nothing pretty comes from comparison. There are only two possible results. We feel like we are worse than someone, or I feel like we are better than them. Neither is beneficial. And then there was also a quote from Jen Hatmaker that said, together we are a city on a hill. When one of us shines, it is a community victory. And that is such a part of the culture at Lularoe, and I just loved it. I just love that statement, and I think it really embodies what Lularoe is. And it also says, just imagine a world where we aren't attempting to be watered down versions of someone else. Imagine the ideas that would flow. Don't stifle the customized plan God has for your life by trying to be like anyone else. So you have to do you. You have to do what works for you. So this is getting a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I did want to say that sometimes I get in a bad place, and I'm realizing that, I'm going down this road of taking things personally, and, when that happens, and I'm like, oh, why didn't so-and-so comment on something, or why didn't somebody like something, or why didn't somebody, say something in a Periscope or something. I learned that I have to take a step back from social media if I'm going down that road, if I'm going to that place in my head. And it's okay to take a break for a little while and to put yourself into something that's going to encourage you and build you up, whether that's, talking to someone, your spouse or your friend or a parent or a sibling, or reading or something, just to take a step back and realize, it's not, everybody has their own battles, and you don't know what people are going through. And the other thing great that happened yesterday was that I got to meet my super awesome sponsor, Kendra Pratt of Lularoe Kendra Pratt. And I just want to talk a little bit real quick, about how important it is to really, really research who you want to be your sponsor. Don't sign up with your best friend just because, or a family member just because. Don't sign up with, the local rep just because they're local. Really, really research it. Figure out what your strengths are and find someone, that can complement those, or that has strengths that you don't really have. Like, I am really comfortable with the businessy side of everything and the numbers because, I was a CPA before I was a mom. And, but I don't think I'm real comfortable in front of the camera, or good at selling stuff. And I loved Kendra. I watched all her videos and I watched her Periscopes, and I just really was drawn to her. She's very positive, and she's real, and she's herself, and she draws people to her. She has, we have an amazing team. And so that's why I chose her, and I'm so glad that I did. And yeah, so I just think it's really important to find somebody that you resonate with, that you're going to really click with, because this is not a decision to take lightly. And I would like to build a team eventually. And so, if you were interested in joining under me, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. That's it for now. I think I have about 2 more weeks before I get my onboarding call. And so I'm just, waiting around right now. I have everything pretty much ready to go, and I'm just waiting for my inventory. So if you watch to the end, you get a gold star. And thanks. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.